So today's topic, right? So before I get into that really quick, let me just tell you that last week, taking Monday off, although I missed you all very much, it was a wonderful week. It was a wonderful anniversary. Greg and I had our 30th wedding anniversary, and it was just great. We just hung out. We had fun. My daughter was off for fall break, so we took off with the family, and we actually went camping and went to Southern Arizona. So that was great. Okay. So we had fun. So I did miss you all, but it was kind of nice to just be with the family and be in family mode. So that was really exciting. So Kim says normal, right? Yeah, right. Normal, Kim. What's normal, right? Okay. So now, and I had promised you guys when I said that I was going to be taking last week off, I promised you guys that we were going to talk about astral projection. It has just come up. It's come back into my awareness. And I asked my spirit team, I asked my guides and angels if that would be a good topic, if that would be something that you guys might be interested in, excuse me, if it's okay to talk about, or if it's a little bit too out there, or, the last thing I want to do is I don't want to freak anybody out on our Magic Mondays. But I do, one of the things that I always share with you, and I have since I started Soul Star Magic, right, over 2.5 years ago, right? I always want to share things that are happening in my life with me in this life that I live, where I walk both worlds, right? I'm in the physical 3-dimensional world as a wife, as a mother, as an artist, as a business person, and all of those things that I do. And then also I walk in the unseen world, and with spirits and guides and angels and an intuition and all of those other things. And then of course I work as a channel, which is also, a channel between me and my spirit guides in order to deliver messages. So I feel like I always have feet in all worlds. And because of that, Kim's right. Normal is a really interesting thing. I don't really have normal in my life, and I haven't had normal ever since I was a kid, right? So that's why I wanted to talk about it. I do want, before we get into the topic really quick, I do want to come back to the comments, and I want to come back to you guys, the comment about last night's full moon energy. I do want to comment about it's 10/10/22 today. So there's just a quick few things I want to discuss before we get into astral projection. Okay. So first of all, yes, last night's energy was intense. I don't know, Ken, I woke up 4 different times last night. I did not sleep very well through the night, and I definitely was up and about. And so those kind of not sleeping really well is actually good for astral projection. So whenever you were sensitive like that, and those of us that are affected by the full moon energies, that can also affect our sleeping abilities. Okay. So I do want to acknowledge Ken and about last night's the full moon. I also want to acknowledge that today is 10/10/22. So you guys, I just want to do the numerology for you really quick. And I just want you to know that 10/10, wonderful number. 10s are always new beginnings, but they are also what I call coming full spiral. So it's not coming full circle, it's coming full spiral. So what happens on a 10 in tarot or other cards or angel tarot or anything I do, when you come to a 10, it's when we're taking all of our lessons, all of the things that we've learned in our life, all of our challenges, our beautiful things, our blessings, and all of those things. And we're taking all those experiences and we're getting ready to enter a new phase in our life, but we are entering it with a spiral. Now, remember, energetically, we are never really standing still energetically unless we are stuck. And if we are stuck, that is a really uncomfortable place to be and not a really good place to be. And so my job with what I do in my work, I am always trying to get people unstuck. I'm trying to just move energy, get the flow of energy moving so you can start moving towards again. So when it comes to energy, we are almost always moving towards something or away from it, something, okay? We're in our past or we're in our future. Hopefully we're in our present, and we are just in our energy right now. So the great thing about, about coming full spiral is you're taking all of this energy, you're taking all of those things, and you're entering a new phase, but you're doing it with all of that knowledge and blessings and all of those things. So we are fully into fall. we are definitely entering a new phase with 1010, with the full moon and everything else. So I just want you guys to keep in that mind that it is 1010 today, 22. 22 is a master number. So if you add those up, you got 10, which is 1 and 1. So that's a 2. You add 22, you don't break that down. That actually, because 22 is a master number, that actually makes the number 24. And then you break down 24, which is the number 2 and 4. You add those together, it's the number 6. Today is a 6th day. 6s are all about love, companionship, cooperation, collaboration. So I just want you guys to know this is a great day for us to be with our Magic Mondays and to be in our community of love and light. Okay, so you guys, great day to do my favorite message, which is love, love, love. And ask yourselves this week, what does love look like? What can I do in love? How can I be in the energy of love today? Okay, because remember, love is the highest vibration. Okay, awesome, great. Hi, Deanne. So basically, that's what I want to tell you. So now I'm going to get into the love and learn topic. Okay. So before we do this, I can feel my energy rise because I get so excited with you guys every single week. So I'm going to take my deep breaths and I'm going to channel down. I'm going to get into my channel center right now and try to get out of my Jen energy because I'm in my Jen energy, and I'm going to drop that down into my channel so I can really go into this topic today. Okay. So I'm going to take at least 2 deep breaths, maybe 3. Ready? I love when you guys take these with me. It helps entrain my energy with you. Okay, awesome. Let's get going. My name is Jen Cushman. I am an empathic intuitive. I am a Reiki master teacher, and I am also a Blue Star Celestial Reiki master. So basically, I'm just an energy worker. And I also have a team of spirits and guides and angels, and they are always with me. And on Magic Mondays, I tap in and we co-create on the Magic Mondays with myself, my human Jen, and then also my channel Jen, along with my team of guides and guardian angels. I work with Archangel Michael because I love Archangel Michael. He's the big dog. He works with a lot of us. A lot of people on my Magic Mondays community knows, and you guys work with Michael. I also work with my own guardian angel, and his name is Archibald or Archie. And then I actually have a very wise male and female spirit guides that I work with. And I don't actually know their names. I can see them. I know what they feel like. I know what they look like, but they're here. So they're all here today. And I just want you to know that there's also a little team of healers, like little nurses and healers, that will hang out with me sometimes. And as we're talking today, because some of this stuff might trigger questions, or it might trigger and bump up against your beliefs, or it might cause some things for you, this little team of nurses are here, and they're also sending all of you guys energy. So I just want you to take a big deep breath. Now, when I talk about the topic today, there's a few ground rules. It's astral projection or out-of-body experience, right? It also can be called lucid dreaming, although lucid dreaming and true out-of-body experiences, astral projections, are flip sides of the same coin, but they are different, okay? I don't want to get into those kind of nuances here today. I really want this to be like an astral projection one-on-one talk. And then if you're interested, you can always find more information, and I will give you a book and some more good research, someplace to go instead of just Googling on the internet, because you never know what you're going to find when you Google, right? So, okay. So the topic today is, when you're doing astral projection, what is it? Okay. Astral projection is when you leave your body, when your body is in a relaxed state. Okay. It's actually in a relaxed state. And then your soul or your consciousness actually leaves your body and goes out into the unified field, right? So it actually will leave your body. Now, it depends a lot on where you are in your own sense of security, safety, how much meditation you've done in your life, how open you are to this, how safe and comfortable you feel. A lot of factors go into how far you are able to actually travel outside of your body in an out-of-body experience, okay? Now, you guys, if you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat and I will really try to get to them, I promise, okay? So if you have any questions, just put them in the chat. I'll look over. I'll try to also, Hitomi will stay on top of it, you guys. And if there's anything, she'll try to keep in my radar as well, okay? So a lot of things depend on how well, how easy it is for you to be able to have an out-of-body experience or an astral projection. Now, one other ground rule I want to talk to you about is, please know when I do my Love and Learn topics every single week and I talk about metaphysical things or other things that are out there, I am not advocating for any of you guys to go have an out-of-body experience, okay? So this is not an avocation. I'm not advocating for, I'm not advocating against, I'm just presenting information. That's really all I'm doing, okay? And then it's up to you. Now, when you hear things that might bump up against your reality or what feels like reality or your belief system, what I want you to know is that the best way whenever you are given any kind of metaphysical or different idea that goes against what you know or believe to be true, one of the best things to do is to just go, and have curiosity, okay? When I first started learning about metaphysics, I really approached it with a level of curiosity, really like Alice in Wonderland, where I would read something or look at something and go, curiouser and curiouser, okay? Just have that state of curiosity. You don't have to believe it. It doesn't have to resonate with you. You can, I mean, all of this stuff, like I said, everything in life is really a theory. Religion's a theory. Metaphysics is a theory. A lot of things are theories unless they can be specifically and completely proven. So just think about this and be open to what I'm going to tell you, okay? So that is an out-of-body experience. That's what you have. Now, you can never fully leave your body as long as you are alive. That just doesn't happen. We do have an energetic cord. It's a silver cord. It's been talked about in history in our text. It's in the Vedic traditions. It's in Hindu traditions. It's in Kabbalah. You know, all of our mystical ancient traditions all talk about this energetic connection that we have with our soul, our consciousness, and our body. And the best way that they've been able to describe it in these ancient texts is a silver cord. Now, the silver cord will run from the belly button of our physical body to our third eye of our conscious body, our soul body, our non-physical form, right? So when you have an out-of-body experience, you are still always tethered to your body by your silver cord, okay? The only time that you are not tethered to your life force energy is when you are actually having your last breath and you are dying and you are crossing over into non-physical. But the silver cord is always with us, okay? Okay, so there we go. Now, Deanne asked, what is the purpose? What do we try to accomplish with astral projection? Thank you, Deanne. That is a perfect question, okay? So astral projection, people that do astral projection or want to do astral projection are looking to have higher states of consciousness experiences. And so ways of accessing these different states of consciousness, astral projection is just one of them, okay? It's one of the ways you can have a different experience rather than just the physical three-dimensional experience that we have. This matter, this world of matter and mass. That's what we have. When I talk about the three-dimensional world, I talk about Earth. I talk about matter and mass. That means our bodies, our physical bodies, our cars, our houses, our stuff. That is matter and mass. And that is physics. And matter and mass is also energy because everything is made up and created by atoms, right? Atoms, neutrons, protons, neutrinos, all of that stuff. Every single thing is made up with energy, and energy is either denser or lighter. That's all it is, denser or lighter. Okay, matter and mass. How much matter, how much mass? So people are looking, human beings have been looking to have other out of consciousness, other consciousness experiences forever, mystical experiences. There's a lot of interest in these days. You'll hear things about ayahuasca ceremonies. Netflix has a show on it right now that's called The Matter of the Mind or something of the mind. And it's actually talking about hallucinogenics and various types of hallucinogenics and what are they being used for? What are they being studied for? So plant medicines, right? Plant medicines as in mushrooms, LSD, MDMA, ayahuasca, all of these other plant medicines. There are people and human beings that are studying these hallucinogenics and these plant medicines because they are looking to see what kind of healing does it offer. Because one of the things that's true about this three-dimensional world is it's a lot of dense matter and mass, and there's a lot of trauma, and there's a lot of pain, and there's a lot of suffering, and there's a lot of violence and a lot of things in this world. And so spiritual seekers are often looking to heal, right? So healers are looking to heal, spiritual seekers are looking to heal, and we are looking to find ways to transform pain and suffering and trauma, okay? So that's a way of going for higher consciousness. So astral projection is a way of accessing higher consciousness. Plant medicine is a way of accessing higher consciousness. Yoga is a way of accessing higher consciousness. Meditation is one of the best ways, one of the safest, easiest, most loving, most wonderful, best ways to access higher consciousness. And then there's also people that are doing tantra or sex magic or sacred sexuality as another way of having out-of-body experiences. Okay. Okay, thanks for that question, Dee. It was awesome. Why would anybody want to do astral projection? That's the why. That's what they're looking for, okay? Now, astral projection is not easy. It's not, and most people that have experience of astral projection, myself included, it's spontaneous. I have never actually had I don't think, okay, let me put it this way. I have had some very unique and very interesting experiences during meditation. I have had meditations and places where I've been able to go and I've been able to travel out of my body, out into my consciousness, and I've been able to go to where the two main spirit guides, I told you that I don't know their names, the very ancient ones, the male and female, I have actually had experiences where I'm able to travel to them and talk to them. And I do that during meditation. Now, even when I do that, I am not in a sleeping state. I'm actually in a waking state, and I'm very aware of my body. So I don't necessarily think that is astral projection. I think that is more probably what is termed lucid dreaming. And, it's more of a lucid dream. For me, it's actually an experience where I'm just able to go hang out and visit my people. But it's very special. It doesn't happen a lot. And I have to be in a very calm, relaxed state. When I was doing the Blue Star Celestial training, we were actually going and meeting our original guides. He wanted us to go to our home planet. So we did some meditation. It was very difficult for a lot of the people there. They weren't able to do that. They weren't able to just get more than into a relaxed state, mostly because fear, because of the unknown, because they haven't done a lot of meditation. They haven't done a lot of things. Their bodies kept them here. Their minds kept them here. Because I've done a lot of meditation, it was very easy for me to be able to just kind of let go and go off to my guides. And I had a great experience with it. After that Blue Star Reiki meditation, though, and after that training where I did the Blue Star Reiki, where I think I told you it was kind of crazy because my teacher actually taught us to turn our chakras around, right? So we literally switched our chakras, which is still, even now, I still am not able to fully process what that was. It was fascinating. It was wonderful. It was crazy amazing. And it was also unlike anything I'd ever experienced. So when I was in that training where my chakras were actually turned around, it was incredibly easy for me to go have this out of body experience and be able to go to, you know, home planet or go to home, I don't know, planet, home dimension, higher states of consciousness, wider state of consciousness. You know, for me, spirit is higher, but really spirit is wider. So the spirit of God, the spirit of oneness, the spirit of all that there is, you know, whatever you want to call it, it's an all-encompassing energy for me. So it's high and wide, and it fills the entire universe. And that's the energy I was able to get into when I did the Blue Star Reiki training and I had this experience. Now, here's why I wanted to talk to you about it today, because I was actually talking with my friend Dawn, who's on here, and she's local and she's a very good friend of mine. And we were talking because Dawn, when I saw her, we were hanging out and I saw Dawn and she was actually exhausted. And Dawn, please forgive me for calling you out. I know it's okay with you. And normally I don't do this, but I am going to call you out a little bit today, but I promise to be very kind. Okay, my friend, because I love you. So, Dawn, we were talking and Dawn was just really tired. She had like dark circles under her eyes and she was just super tired. And I was like, Dawn, honey, you're not sleeping well. And she's like, no, I'm having a really rough time sleeping. And then I just got the intuitive hit, right? When I was there and I said, oh, you've been traveling. And she's, what? And I said, you've been nighttime traveling, you've been dreamtime traveling. And I said, you've been having out of body experiences and you're out like healing the world. And she's like, what? And I said, because Dawn's a healer and she's starting her healing business. And so because she's starting her healing business, her soul is ready to heal. Her soul is ready to go out and help other people, but that's not what her physical reality consists of. So her soul is just ready to go. She's ready to fly and she's out flying at night and she's just out healing the world. So that's why I wanted to talk to her about it. And then I told her, and I'm telling you guys right now, so when I came back from that Blue Star Reiki master training and I had everything switched around, I had one night where, and I didn't do this consciously, this is unconsciously, right? I had one night where I was laying in bed and it was like 3 o'clock in the morning and I kind of woke up, and you know that state between waking and dreaming, right? I kind of woke up and my body was on fire. I was so hot, right? And it felt like I was having a hot flash. And trust me, I'm of that age, you guys. I know what hot flashes feel like, right? But it was not a hot flash, okay? But it was literally my body was producing so much heat. My metabolism was so incredibly revved up that I was like on fire, but it wasn't that internal flame. It was an external fire, but it was really crazy. So I was so hot, threw the covers off of me. No, the covers were already off of me. I didn't throw them off of me because what happened is I recognized in my body that I was hot, but I had sleep paralysis. I couldn't move. So it was really, really weird. So I was waking up, I was getting out of that state of dream consciousness to awake consciousness. And I wasn't quite there. And I was recognizing the sensation of just massive heat, but I couldn't move my body. I was in sleep paralysis. And so, and that's because my body, because I was having out of body experiences and I was actually traveling and I was out healing you guys. You guys were on my mind, every single one of you. Ken, I saw you. Susan, I saw you. Lauren, I saw you. You guys were all there. It was so crazy. And Beach, you were there. You know, it was just so interesting. Hitomi. And I saw you guys and I was out with you guys and I had your permission and I was out doing Reiki on you. I was actually tuning you to Reiki 1 because I wanted you all to be healers because you are healers and you're all empaths. And so I had that realization that I was having an out-of-body experience and I was actually sleeping, but I was doing attunements and I was working and healing you guys. And so I came back into my body. I was able to move my body, right? And so I was able to move my body again. I was able to bring subtle movement back to my body. It's very cool that I have been doing yin yoga on Thursdays, every Thursday with a really good friend of mine who's an amazing teacher. And she teaches us to really make our body soft and heavy. And we get into a pose, we hold it, we stay in present moment, not allowing our mind to drift to the past or the future, stay in present moment, be in a space of non-thinking, be somatically in our body, and then we hold the pose for 5 to 10 minutes. And then we slowly get out of the pose. And then we bring subtle movement to our body, and then we make the movement larger. And that's what I did when I realized I had sleep paralysis. Now, I wasn't scared, okay? It didn't frighten me. It was like, it was paralysis where I could hear myself in my mind. I knew I was fully awake, but I could not move my body. It was almost like a yin yoga pose where I'd gotten into it and I held it so long and I held the stretch so long that my body was like paralyzed, like it couldn't move. So I just went into my toolbox of my yin yoga practice, and then I just started bringing subtle energy back to my body. And then I was able to come back into my body. Okay. Now that was an unconscious out of body experience when I was sleeping. And it came about spontaneously because of the training I was doing with the Blue Star Celestial Reiki. And I talked to you guys after the Magic Mondays, and I told you all that I wasn't able to even explain with words what had happened to me because I was still somatically body processing that amazing energy and that amazing teaching and training. So, so it's now been a month and I can finally talk about that stuff. Okay. Okay. Let me take a big deep breath and let me just get back to this. I love your questions. So if you guys have any questions, please go ahead and give them to me. I will try to keep an eye on the time on this. And then I will kind of take a breath and take a drink of water, and then I will try to move forward. Okay. Okay. So any questions, plop them in. Okay. They're telling me right now, they're like, good job, Jen, good job. But they're telling me to take a breath. And then I'm asking which direction I need to go right now. So which is going to be most helpful for you guys. Okay. Okay. So I talk about myself, and I'm not trying to be narcissistic when I talk about myself, you guys. I'm just trying to talk about myself because if I can talk about myself, maybe the experiences will resonate with you. Maybe you've had similar experiences. Maybe you want to have similar experiences. Maybe you just want to be open to the idea or the possibility of these experiences. So that's actually why I talk about myself in Magic Mondays, is I want you to have these experiences. Now, as far as astral travel goes, okay, what do I want to say about it? I think there is validity in it. It is becoming more popular in our mythology. Dr. Strange in the movie talked about multiverses and astral travel. There's a show on Netflix called Behind Her Eyes. I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard about it. That's astral travel. There's a show on Netflix of the medium, right? Henry, I think his name. So I can't remember right now, but on a mediumship. So what's happening is we are getting much more mainstream with these ideas, right? And astral travel has actually been really seriously studied. There is an institute in Florida. It's by a name called Robert Monroe, and it's called the Monroe Institute. He wrote a book on astral travel, I think in the 80s or 90s. I think you can still find it. Hitomi, maybe you can look it up for me if you have a chance. It's Robert Monroe Institute, and he has a book about astral travel. I haven't read it, but I've seen it as a resource, and I'm going to get it because I'm interested in the subject now that I've had these spontaneous experiences with it recently. So I'm going to get that book. I did do the research, and he is the one that is most known for it. He actually, the Monroe Institute, has worked with our government, the American government, and the CIA on studying scientifically astral travel. And the scientists have been able to actually say with, proof that astral travel exists. Now, they don't know why it exists. They don't know where we go. They don't know what these other realms of consciousness feel like. The only thing they can do is they have experiential evidence that comes back from people who do this, that actually talk about it, just like people who have had near-death experiences and come back and share their near-death experiences. One of the things that comes up a lot is there is the tunnel and the white light. That happens with astral travel. Also, what happens is the field, the unified field. So the electric field for, it looks like a grid for a lot of people. It looks like sacred geometry for other people, but there is definitely an electric grid. And my team has showed me the unified field and the electric grid a lot. So, and when I have had my meditation experiences, I have looked down and seen the unified field grid. So there is part of that. Okay. So it has been researched, it has been studied, just like in psychometry, or telekinesis, the ability to bend objects with your mind, move objects with your mind, those kind of things. They've been studied extensively, and they've been studied by our military pretty extensively. So this stuff does exist. Okay. So I wanted you to know about that. Okay. So do I have any other information? Oh, good. Hitomi put that in, the moreauinstitute.org. I wanted to pop that in there, you guys. Thank you, Hitomi. I really wanted to pop that in there because there's a lot out there. And you guys, just like the internet, there's scary stuff out there. And there's stuff that if you have any fear about this and it's fear-based, you will find, remember, our minds go, right? We are law of attraction. We are constantly getting and receiving that which we are looking for. So if we have any fear over this and we start doing a search on it, you are going to get back fear stuff on it. If you have curiosity with it, if you have interest with it, and you type it and you put it out there, then you're going to get interesting and curious things back. Just remember what I said today. This is a 6 number. Love is the highest vibration. So whenever you are going to explore or seek or find information or look for anything that is outside this 3-dimensional world, please go with it with the intention of love and light. Okay. If you can keep the intention of love and light, if you can have a protection and a boundary around you, then what's going to happen when you do your seeking, what's going to come back to you is going to be love and light. So intention and energy is everything. Okay. And I want everybody to have a good experience. That's why I do these Magic Mondays, because I want you to be informed. I want you to think about things in a new way. And I want you to feel safe and comfortable with the concept of guides and angels and the unseen and the mystical, because it's pretty amazing. That's why I use the word magic, because it is magic, right? Energy is magic. It's awesome. Okay. I'm going to take a few questions, and then I'm going to go ahead, Hitomi, and pull a few cards today, because I think that's all I want to say today. I could talk about this for hours and hours and hours, but I just wanted to do a 101. Okay. So let's see. Jennifer says, can this happen through medication like ketamine? I felt like I had a very deep experience, but it's different there with medication versus meditation. Yes, Jennifer, ketamine is, I've never experienced ketamine. I've never used ketamine, but it is one of those hallucinogenic plant medicines, or I don't know if it's plant or synthetic. I'm not really sure what ketamine is as much, but I do know that it causes hallucinogenic experiences. Whenever you have hallucinogenic experiences of any type, you are going to access different altered states of consciousness. And so altered states of consciousness is going to give you different experiences than our physical world. Okay. Lauren says, saw that documentary. That explains last night. Did you get any rest? I did. Oh, thank you, Deanne, for that. So let me explain to that. You guys, when I realized that I was out healing at night, and I was doing that stuff, I actually came back into my body, and I actually got really quiet, and I really breathed, and I got fully back into my body. And then I closed my eyes, and I asked my team, I asked I asked Archie, I asked Michael, I asked my main guides, I asked them to please stop me, my higher self. I also talked to my higher self, because that's our soul self. And I talked to my higher self asking to please stop traveling, because I don't need to be traveling. I need to be resting. I need to be able to do my work during the day, because this is my work. So I don't need to do it at night, right? I'm doing this during the day, every single day. I'm living this life and walking this path. So daytime hours are work for me. Nighttime needs to be rest. So then I asked, and then I was able to get some sleep. Okay. So Tammy says, had the experience many years, waking at 3:30 a.m. several days in a row. An intuitive friend that, yep, that happens. That happens a lot, you guys. 333, 444, 111, 222. Those repeating numbers are definite signs. When you start waking up, the thing about astral travel, this is something I want to tell you, it is most active with you between the hours of 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. And that is because that's when we are going in and out of our REM sleep. So when we are actually when we are in our body, so we're in our body and then we're drifting off into sleep, there is a period there called the hypnagogic highway, right? The hypnagogic highway. And it's actually a little electrical energetic highway that people that actually do astral travel intentionally during waking time and that stuff, they want to get in and they want to ride that hypnagogic highway, hypnagogic highway, hypnagogic. HYPOGOGIC, I think, hypnagogic highway. Anyway, that is that vibrational state between waking and asleep is what that is. And that is kind of the vibrational tunnel or the vibrational tube, if you will, that gets you from this three-dimensional state of consciousness on the highway through the tube and out into the unified field. So that happens naturally. We naturally do that during our REM sleep, which normally happens between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. So those of us that are sensitive and are empathic and healers, you know, whether we're doing it for pay or not pay or how we're doing it, and healers, a lot of us will wake up at 222, 333, 444. And just so you know, those are definite signs from the universe that you are healing and that you are a healer, that you are a light worker, that you are empathic, you are here for a purpose and for the greater love and the greater good and yourself, and that those are signs for you for your awakening. It also may be that you are unintentionally, spontaneously having out-of-body experiences and you are doing traveling at night and astral traveling. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Amy says, can you say anything about spontaneously experiencing travel versus trying to be intentional, trained, or studying in it? Yes. So yes, Amy. So most of us that are empathic, intuitives, light workers, most of us do it spontaneously. We are just doing it and it happens during that hypnagogic state, right? That's that state between awaking and sleep, okay? That's that you're not fully awake, you're not fully asleep. Your body's asleep, your mind is still awake or going. That's your conscious state, okay? Happens most at night because it's when we're relaxed, it's when our monkey brain is not going, it's when we're not thinking about things and we are sleeping. So that's mostly when traveling happens. Native American cultures call it dream time, right? Dream walking, dream time walking. And they actually, shamanic cultures, Hawaiian cultures, shamans, healers, kumus, any of those indigenous healers understand and know about this energy and know about the astral travel sleeping, okay? Most of us don't do it intentionally. There are books about it. It's been around, you know, like I said, the 80s, 90s. I first learned about it from my godfather, believe it or not. He actually, when I was doing my seeking, he was experimenting with astral travel in the 80s. He was in his 40s at the time, I think, late 30s, mid 30s, 30s, 40s, and he was doing astral travel. And he actually got so deep into it that he was really afraid that he was going to lose his silver cord. And that's actually what made him quit. I didn't have enough knowledge at that time to ask him more information on it. I would have loved to have known then what I know now to be able to ask him to give me all of those first person experiences, because he did it quite often intentionally. He taught himself how to do it. He read books on it, he learned it, and he intentionally astral traveled. Okay. So if it interests you, it is an area of study and you can do it. I would suggest that you figure it out and you research it and you study it and you learn it before you start monkeying around with these things. Okay. I did not become an intuitive and a healer until I was able to get training on it, because that was just my integrity. And I just felt like I needed to know, what I was doing before I started messing with other people. Okay, great. Okay, let's see what else. Jennifer says, I'll be sure to tell my doctor I've just been astro traveling. That's funny, Jennifer. I love it. Let's see how open your doctor is. If it's your healing one, I'm sure she's going to be great with it. If it is your allopathic MD, they might want to put you on medication. So, we'll see. So Sherry says, I think reoccurring dreams tend to be part of it, especially when you see something a bit different each time. I think so, Sherry. If you're more interested in that, look into lucid dreaming. Okay. There's something called lucid dreaming. There is a wonderful instructor. His name is Robert Moss, Robert M-O-S-S. He did a dream class from the Shift Network, the Shift S-H-I-F-T network, did a class with Robert Moss on dreams and traveling and going into your unconscious. And it was an amazing course. I took it. Okay. Amy says, my guess was that there would be a more organic power, spiritual quality if it were spontaneous. I don't know, Amy. I don't necessarily, intuitively, my response to that is no. Intentional work, intentional spiritual work can be very powerful. People who intentionally work with guides for ayahuasca ceremonies, people that intentionally work with shamans for plant medicine, or other meditative, native quest where they'll go on, where they will actually not have food or water for, 5 or 7 days or whatever it is, and go on those kind of spiritual quests. Those are very intentional seeking quests. And those experiences are really life-changing, and people write books about them and do movies about them and talk about how their lives are changed when they do those very intentional things. Now, it's intentional. It means that there's study and time and all kinds of stuff going on. So I don't know. So spontaneous. I've had spontaneous past life regressions, and I've actually had specific where I've been with somebody who was training and learning that took me on a past life regression. And I've also just gone on my own on a meditative journey. And each past life regression journey that I've ever went on has been very interesting, whether it was spontaneous or intentional. I basically had a unique experience every time. So I don't know. I can't answer that question yes or no. I can just say my gut feeling on it is no. Okay. Okay. Awesome. Great. So good. So Hitomi put in Moss Dreams. Okay, Robert Moss. So you guys, I just want to make sure it's the journalist in me. I started as a journalist. That's why I have a very healthy dose of skepticism in me, along with everything else, is that I have this really, really healthy dose of skepticism in a lot of things. It comes from my journalism background. I also, when I seek information, I still need to seek information that feels correct and true and is scientifically based. So that's why when I recommend to you Robert Moss, because of the dream time, the lucid dreaming, like you're talking about, Sherry, he's phenomenal. I hands down recommend him, right? Also the Robert Monroe, definitely wanted to give you that on there instead of just people out that are like, hey, let me teach you how to astro travel on YouTube. I wouldn't suggest you sit down and put on a YouTube thing on let me teach you how to astro travel, and it's some dude with a little soul patch. Okay. I don't know. Maybe that's the skepticism of me that says maybe not. Okay. So always, always, always take care of you. Have a healthy dose of skepticism tempered by a huge openness of curiosity, curiouser and curiouser, with also let me feel, does that feel correct? Okay. Okay. I think this has been an amazing topic. I hope you guys loved it. I had so much fun. I love doing these weird out of the box things. I love taking your questions. I had such a good time. I mean, heck, how often on a Monday do you talk about out of body experiences, right? Or the other side? I don't know. Well, Magic Mondays with me. Okay, you guys, I do want to get to a couple of card pulls. I don't know how many I'm going to get. It's already 11:58. Remember, I try to go from 11:11 to 12:12, no more than 12:12, because I want to be respectful of your time and want to make sure that that you have time to get your stuff done. So, so to be respectful of your time, I'm just going to pull maybe one or two cards if I can. Okay. Okay, Hitomi, hopefully you can come up. So Dawn says incredible. Laura says fascinating. I'm so happy, you guys. That's awesome that you think that and you enjoyed in today's topic. Remember, I am going to do a little bit. I haven't been very good on my newsletters the last 2 weeks. You haven't received a newsletter from me, but you will. I'm back and I'm going to have time. So I'll do a quick recap on this today. And I will also go into the YouTube and do an edit of the Love and Learn talk and put it up on that YouTube station. I think I only have 5 subscribers, you guys, but you're welcome to find Soul Star Magic on YouTube and subscribe to it, okay? Okay. Okie dokie. Let's see what we got. Hang on. I saw, something up here that said, okay. I think that's it. I think we got it. Okay. Awesome. Okay, Sherry, you were the first reading today. Now, remember, I'm asking the guides right now to make sure, because we did so much talking on the topic and not so many card pulls, that I really wanted to resonate with more of you, okay? And I'm using Denise's Lynn Sacred Traveler deck because, you know what? I have a funny sense of humor like that, and I think it's great. We're talking about astro traveling. We might as well use the Sacred Traveler deck, right? So, okay. Okay, this is a great card. And you guys, this is not just for Sherry. This is actually a group card. And Sherry, you just happen to get your name pulled, honey bunch, but it's a group card. And they're telling me it's a group card because we have so little time. And it is so appropriate for today's Love and Learn topic and what I've just shared with you. This is finding sanctuary. And you can see, you guys, it is a great travel card. It is above the clouds. Just imagine closing your eyes right now and that your body is sleeping and you're laying in bed flat on your back. Your body is sleeping and you are actually out dreaming and floating and experiencing and traveling. And you're in this beautiful mystical place, right? With the clouds and the mountains and the sky, but then there's also some great castle there to be able to anchor to, because whenever you are out having a mystical experience, you still need to have an anchor, okay? There needs to be a safe place. Our bodies always need to feel safe. It's really important for us, okay? Our bodies are our cars, they are vehicles, they're our machines, they are how we live this life. And the healthiest that we can keep them, the best we can give them the rest, the good food that we can give them, the less stress that we can give them, the better vehicles they're going to be for us to be able to live these amazing experiences of ours. So this card, Sherry, is finding sanctuary, and it says opening to your spiritual source. So I just got angel bumps over my whole entire body. They literally just ran up me like, and then it ran up my body, over my shoulders, around my back, up through my crown, and it just filled my whole entire energy field with angel bumps. I hope you guys felt that, finding sanctuary. So just remember that if you are going to be a seeker, if you are going to be curious about these ideas, if you want to be curious about non-physical, if you want to be curious about energy, if you want to be curious about what happens after we die, if you want to be curious about the nature of reality itself, multiverses, ghost, I mean, anything, everything, whatever you want to be curious about is perfectly allowed, because you are a human being having you're a spiritual being having a human experience. So you are allowed, and I do want to encourage you to have these beautiful spiritual experiences, but have them in the safety of source, okay? Have them in the safety of a knowing, a deep, deep, deep inner knowing that there is something greater and bigger than you, that there are, for me, it's my spirit guides, it's my team, it's Archangel Michael, it's my angels, right? For other people, it might be, again, I have friends of mine that are doing Huna right now. That is the Hawaiian tradition. In Hawaiian tradition, they don't have angels. They have a different kind of guide, shamanism, they have different kind of guides, but Judaism, Kabbalah, mysticism, Vedic traditions, God, Christianity, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is rooted in one truth. And the one truth, the one spiritual truth is there is something greater and bigger than us. And it is light. And it is the highest vibration of love. Okay. So opening yourself to spiritual source just means allowing yourself to be a seeker, but also having your anchor to your silver cord, right? Having your anchor from your body, your higher self, your soul self, your higher consciousness, to your family, your friends, your community, your world, and everything else. And that's what it means to be a light worker today, okay? Our times are hard, things are tough, but as long as you can always lean into faith, you can always lean into your own spiritual center, as long as you can lean into your higher consciousness, your soul self, you can find the answers to any problem that you create. Okay. And I'm saying you create because we do create our problems. We definitely do. We also create our solutions. Okay. Okay. I love that.